What's up, everybody? This is Gile from BJEE, BJ Eastern Europe, and I'd like to make a quick video regarding people asking me how is Jiu-Jitsu, how is it to roll in Jiu-Jitsu in Eastern Europe compared to the rest of the world. Okay, and I think I'm well placed to talk about this because I've been living in Serbia for the past 9 years. And I also spent time training in Romania. I was living in Bucharest for 6 months, and I trained there at Absoluto BJJ. And of course, I've competed all over Eastern Europe, especially the Balkans. So, okay, basically, what I can say, there's a couple of points where things may be a bit different than what you've experienced elsewhere. So, first thing is, man, people here are physical specimens in the sense that a lot of big, strong dudes, like Eastern Europeans. I'll speak generally, okay? Eastern Europeans, man, I think are bigger and stronger than Western Europeans, depending on which Western Europeans we're talking about. For example, I mean, a Russian guy or a Polish guy will be on average, stockier and bigger and stronger than let's say a typical Spaniard or a Frenchman or a Portuguese, let's say. Okay, so first thing, like I said, bigger, stronger people. Second thing is, I think mental toughness. Eastern Europeans are known to be tough. So this translates obviously to their jiu-jitsu. Here it's a lot of how you say, like meat and potato jiu-jitsu. Like I mean, okay, of course you have people who like to do a modern game, but a lot of academies here have a smashing style. So when you're rolling, it's not you're not gonna encounter any like Zen Jiu-Jitsu. It's more gonna be more like people. In all fairness, they're gonna go fair, but they're gonna try and smash you basically. They're gonna try and make you tap out. So a lot of like a lot of strength being used, which is good. Sometimes it's good to use strength. It's part of Jiu-Jitsu, and also I think. The fact that a lot of Eastern Europeans have a strong martial art or combat sport background, especially like in grappling sports such as wrestling or judo, this also has an effect on what kind of people you're going to encounter in training. So you're going to have lots of wrestlers, lots of judokas. For example, like in Serbia, not so much because Serbia is they're more into ball sports like basketball, football, volleyball, that kind of stuff. But like in some countries, let's say like in Bulgaria, man, they're really into like wrestling, or same thing like in Russia. There's a very strong wrestling culture there also. So you have a lot of wrestling sambo guys who you're gonna encounter. Okay, and another thing is when we talk about mental toughness, is like Eastern Europe. Generally, the last let's say like 50 years with the communism and all that, they went through tough times. So people naturally become tougher, So that means that when they compete or generally how they roll, it translates directly to that, So like for example, I'll give you an anecdote. First time I ever trained in Serbia was in like 2003. I came here on vacation. And I was rolling with some guys at the academy, which eventually became my academy. And I remember, I was living in France at the time. My girlfriend, which is now my wife, is Serbian, so I was training at the academy. I was very well welcomed there. They were very friendly. But once you started rolling, oh my gosh, it was like knees to the chest, knee riding, choking you over the mouth. It was like kill or be killed. And I remember telling my instructor, Jovan Jayal, like, Jovan, what's going on here, man? Did I offend somebody? He's like, no, Gile, these are people who lived through the war. So like when they roll, it's war too, So don't take it personally. So I'm like, okay, no problem. So like I said, I don't want to generalize, but if you're gonna train in Eastern Europe, get ready for some tough sparrings. People are very strong. They give it everything they got in sparring. So to compare with other countries, okay, let's say I've trained a lot in Brazil, I trained a lot in France, I trained in the UK, trained in the Philippines, And okay, for example, in Brazil, what I noticed is like they're much more laid back and trying to use much more technique over strength. Okay, in the Philippines, people are much smaller, you know, and so they rely also like on much more technique, and they have really good cardio. Okay, in France, it's okay. I mean, it's not so different from Eastern Europe because it's also Europe, but people there, let's say, also use less strength and try and use more technique, but something in between, you know. That's pretty much it, guys. You know, like if you have any more questions, drop me a message on BJE, and I'll give you my opinion. All right, take care. Have a great day. Us.